What happens when a nation humiliated, oppressed, and hopeless finally rises against tyranny? Behind the tales of kings and great armies lies a simple young man who becomes the key to victory: David versus Goliath. But how did it all begin? Who was Saul, Talut, the leader chosen by God? And what are the timeless lessons from this story that still resonate today? Join me as we explore this epic tale, complete with the Quranic verses that frame it. Let's delve into this profound journey of history and wisdom. This story occurred around 1000 BCE in the region of Sham, modern-day Palestine, Syria, and surrounding areas. Over 3,000 years ago, amidst the civilization of the children of Israel, Bani Israel. At that time, the Israelites lived under oppression following the death of Prophet Moses. They had lost their leaders, their honor, and their symbol of faith, the Ark of the Covenant, Talut, which had been seized by their enemies. The Israelites, in a state of despair, prayed to God to appoint a leader who could guide them against oppression. God answered their prayers by choosing Saul, Talut, a leader chosen by God for his strength, knowledge, and piety, despite his humble background. Initially, the Israelites rejected Talut because he was not from a noble or wealthy family. However, God gave them a sign of his choice through the return of the Ark, a sacred chest symbolizing blessings. God chose Talut as king through his prophet. He declared in the Qur'an,
وقال لهم نبيهم إن الله قد بعث لكم طالوت ملكا قالوا أنى يكون له الملك علينا ونحن أحق بالملك منه ولم يؤت سعة من المال قال إن الله اصطفاه عليكم وزاده بسطة في العلم والجسم والله يؤتي ملكه من يشاء والله واسع عليم.
Indeed, Allah has chosen him over you and has increased him abundantly in knowledge and stature. And Allah gives his sovereignty to whom he wills, and Allah is all-encompassing, all-knowing. Qur'an, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 247. According to some interpretations, the prophet was Samuel. Prophet Samuel faced great challenges as the Israelites doubted his decision. However, he stood firm, presenting a sign from God, the return of the Ark of the Covenant. Through Prophet Samuel, God taught that leadership is chosen by divine wisdom, not human desires. The Israelites finally accepted Talut after witnessing the miraculous return of the Ark. Jalut, the tyrannical enemy leader, described as a giant with immense power and a vast army. On their journey, Talut tested his army at a river. Indeed, Allah will test you with a river, so whoever drinks from it is not of me, and whoever does not taste it is indeed of me, except for one who takes from it in the hollow of his hand. Qur'an, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 249. Most of the soldiers failed the test, leaving only a small group of faithful followers. When they finally reached the battlefield, this small force was intimidated by Goliath's massive army. However, they prayed with conviction. Our Lord, pour upon us patience, plant firmly our feet, and give us victory over the disbelieving people. Qur'an, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 250. In the heat of battle, a young man named Dawud stepped forward. David, a courageous young man in Talut's army who would later become a prophet and king. Using a sling and a small stone, David defeated Goliath by God's permission, turning the tide and bringing a miraculous victory to the Israelites. The story of Talut and Jalut imparts timeless lessons of courage, leadership, and faith. Leadership. God chooses leaders based on their faith, knowledge, and strength, not their social status or wealth. Tests of faith. God tests his servants to distinguish the truly faithful. Power of faith. Victory is not determined by numbers, but by unwavering faith and trust in God. This story teaches us that with steadfast faith, effort, and prayer, God provides help, even in seemingly impossible situations. As God states in the Quran, So they defeated them by permission of Allah, and David killed Goliath, and Allah gave him the kingship and wisdom and taught him of that which he willed. Qur'an, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 251. From Talut, we learn the essence of leadership. From David, we learn the meaning of courage. And from this story, we understand that true strength lies in faith in God. So what can we take from this to face the Goliaths in our own lives today? Reflect on it. Talut's kingdom is believed to have been located in ancient Israel, Palestine, including the Judean hills, the valley of Elah, where the battle between David and Goliath took place, cities such as Gibeah, Geba, traditionally regarded as Saul's capital. Excavations have uncovered remnants of fortifications and settlements in these areas, reflecting the activity of the Israelites during the 11th to 10th centuries BCE. The Valley of Elah, identified as the site of the David-Goliath confrontation, has revealed findings like the fortified city of Khirbet Qeiyafa. Artifacts from this site indicate a monotheistic community consistent with the beliefs of the Israelites. The Ark of the Covenant, a symbol of divine blessings, is central to Talut's story. While its exact location remains unknown, it holds significant religious importance in Jewish and Islamic traditions. In Judeo-Christian tradition, Talut is identified as Saul, the first king of Israel. While no direct artifacts of Saul have been discovered, historical accounts of his battles align with archaeological evidence of Philistine presence in the region. The passage of time, over 3,000 years have passed, likely erasing many artifacts. A modest kingdom. Talut's kingdom may have been smaller than major empires like Egypt or Mesopotamia, leaving fewer remains. Philistine pressure. The Philistine threat might have destroyed much of his kingdom's material heritage. Although direct archaeological evidence for Talut is scarce, findings in ancient Israel-Palestine offer glimpses into the lives, battles, and societal structures of the Israelites in his era. The story of Talut endures as a lesson in faith, resilience, and submission to God's will.